The fairy tale is over. Eala took the loss tonight. But hold on, don't you dare close this tab or start doom scrolling through the heartbreak. Pause for a moment. Sit with me. We need to unpack this because the emotions are raw and the weight of this moment is massive. I'm telling you right now, despite the L next to her name, this remains the most breathtaking narrative in Filipino sports this year. Here are the cold hard facts Coco Gauff wins. 6-love, 6-2. 1 hour and 7 minutes on the clock. Gauff storms into the Dubai duty-free semifinals while Eala's campaign hits the wall. That spectacular, defy the odds, shock the world streak. It's finished. That is the headline. That is the scoreboard. But numbers on a screen, they don't capture the spirit of Eala. They don't explain the magnitude of this past week. Let's rewind. We have to look at the full picture. Before she stepped onto center court today, you have to realize the context. Alex entered the quarterfinals having already pulled off 2 miracles in this very tournament. She dismantled Jasmine Paolini, world number 8, Italian Open champ, Roland Garros finalist in straight sets during the round of 32. She didn't stop there. She turned around and crushed Sorana Cirstea, a woman riding a 7-match hot streak and a fresh title 7-5-6-4. 2 back-to-back masterclasses against absolute tennis royalty. And she did it as a 20-year-old rising star from the Philippines sitting at rank 40. Be honest, if you looked at this bracket a week ago and predicted an Eala quarterfinal appearance, I would have called you delusional. It was beautiful chaos. She didn't luck her way here, she earned the right to stand across from Coco Gauff. That is the perspective you need. Now let's talk about the match. Coco Gauff is the world number 4, a 2-time Grand Slam queen, US Open winner, French Open winner. She plays with a controlled aggression that systematically dismantles opponents. She has been a top 5 force globally for over a year. And the brutal truth tonight, she was in God mode. Alex was searching for answers, but Gauff wasn't giving any. The serve the forehand, the way Coco shrinks the court, and strikes early into the gaps, it was suffocating. It was one of those matches where even watching from a screen, you felt the inevitability of it. There was no exit strategy for Alex. Gauff entered that cold, clinical headspace where the crowd noise disappears and the dominance was instant. First set a clean sweep, 6-0. A bagel. The first time Alex has been shut out like that in 2026. You could read the agony in Alex's body language. The head shakes the desperate glances at her coach Joan Bosch she knew. She realized it just wasn't her night. When the errors start stacking up like that, it eats away at your confidence. Alex committed 33 unforced errors. 33. That's a night where the racket feels like a foreign object in your hand. The bounces are wrong, the rhythm is off, and nothing connects. Second set, Gauff races to a 4-love lead. By this point, the thousands of Filipino fans in the stadium flags in hand had fallen into a stunned silence. It was that heavy quiet where you're still loyal, but the hope has evaporated and you're just praying for it to end. But then came the moment, the singular flash of brilliance I will never forget. Trailing 0-4 in the second, staring down a double bagel humiliation, Alex refused to fold. She held her serve. Then she broke Gauff. She clawed it back to 2-4. Instantly, the arena erupted. The Filipino faithful found their voice again, screaming their lungs out. She fought tooth and nail to avoid that 0-0. For context, Alex hasn't lost with a double bagel since the 2022 Madrid qualifiers when she was just 16. She wasn't about to let history repeat itself on this stage. Did she win the match? Number Gauff locked in and took the next 2 games to finish 6-2. But that resistance, that hold and that break, that showed you exactly who Eala is. When it would have been easier to check out, pack up, and cry in the locker room, she chose to fight. She made the world number 4 work for the finish line. She gave the crowd a reason to believe. That grit speaks louder than 100 easy victories ever could. Now we have to talk about Coco Gauff's reaction. Gauff, who struggled with 8 double faults herself, proving she's still human amidst the dominance, spoke about Alex in a way that gave me goosebumps. First, she saluted Alex's toughness. She admitted, even with the lead, I knew she could flip the script instantly. I've seen her resilience before, let that sink in. A multiple Grand Slam champion was up 6-love, 4-love, and still thinking, this girl's dangerous, I can't relax. That is genuine respect, not just PR fluff for the cameras. And then she addressed the fans. Picture this, thousands of screaming Filipino fans turning that Dubai court into downtown Manila, absolutely roaring for Alex. And how did Coco Gauff handle the heat in the most classic Coco way imaginable? She confessed that every time the stadium erupted for Alex, she just tricked her brain into believing all that noise was actually for her. I think it helped me a lot, If you can't beat them, you gotta join them, she joked. Honestly, that is just brilliant and hilarious all at once. This woman has a French Open and a US Open title under her belt, yet she is still dropping comedy gold during high-pressure court interviews. Massive respect. But hold on, because the next part is what really struck a chord with me. Gauff scanned the stadium, looked right at the cameras, knowing millions were watching back in the Philippines, and said, "I'd like to thank Alex for bringing a whole new demographic to the sport." Then she flashed that smile and added, "I know sometimes it's tough when you're playing a home crowd, but I think it's great for the sport. So please keep that energy up and keep rooting hard for your player." That is not just class. That is a global superstar validating that what Alex Eala is achieving actually matters. The way she is igniting a fan base, creating electric atmospheres, and packing international arenas with thousands of Filipinos that impact dwarfs any single match score. Gauff recognized it, called it out on the world stage, and she is spot on. Absolutely spot on. Now let's zoom out, because watching Alex fall short tonight might leave you feeling gutted or frustrated. I understand. I felt that exact same sting in the moment. But let me break down exactly what Alex Eala pulled off in Dubai this week, and I need you to really let this sink in. She entered ranked number 47. Wildcard or not on paper, she had no business being in a WTA 1000 quarterfinal. First, she takes out Hailey Baptiste in round 1. Okay, doable. But then, she shocks the planet by sweeping world number 8, Jasmine Paolini, a top 10 titan, in straight sets. I was covering that match. You all witnessed it. The energy in the stands was absolutely unhinged. Next up, she dismantled Serrano Cirstea, world number 31, snapping her 7-match win streak. Another straight sets victory, and she didn't just scrape by. She rallied from 4 or 5 down to steal that first set before coolly shutting the door in the second. That makes 3 massive wins at a WTA 1000 event, with 2 of them against top 35 talent. She stormed into the quarterfinals of the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Championships, WTA 1000, marking only the second time she has reached that deep in her career at just 20 years old. And here is the real kicker. After all that chaos, her ranking is skyrocketing. Projections had her hovering around number 38 live after beating Cirstea, and those quarterfinal points might push her even higher. She has already cemented herself as the highest-ranked Filipino player in WTA history. She is the first Filipino to ever crack the top 40, and remember, she is only